Hey guys, how's it going? And girls. Girls too. Hello lady, how are you? Fantastic. I've never really understood a goal in a diversity class. What exactly do the colleges or universities expect to accomplish out of these required classes? Well, I tried to figure this out. I realized that I needed to, more than anything, figure out what diversity means. Few words today inspire as much heated argument and debate as diversity.
What in the hell's diversity?
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
It's funny to me that this word is so loaded and heated. Why, you might ask? Because as I searched for a legitimate, solid definition, I was hardly able to find a single one that was satisfactory. There is a definition my computer has, which reads the state of being diverse. Oh, Sean Connery. Then we got this definition from Wikipedia in the business section. The business tactic which encourages diversity to better serve a heterogeneous customer base. That's better, I guess. But to spare everyone from me reading every definition I found, almost every definition is all the same kind of mumbo jumbo. The closest I was able to come to an acceptable definition was also in Wikipedia under their political category. This reads, the political and social policy of encouraging tolerance for people of different backgrounds. So now that we've found somewhat of a workable definition that'll give us a little insight into the goals of a diversity class, I would like to share what I've learned from a couple of schools. First of all, this is what schools generally require, but more specifically, this is what the U of U requires. 1. The study of one or more cultures of the people of the United States, different from the majority or dominant cultures. 2. The cultural examination of relations between non-dominant and dominant cultural groups, or between various non-dominant cultural groups in the United States. Harmless, right? I guess so. But what does the school expect to accomplish? This is what Octavio Villalpando, the Associate Vice President of Diversity and Equality, has to say about his department, which is behind these forced diversity requirements. The Office for Equality and Diversity is proud to lead the university's efforts to support the success and achievement of faculty, students, and staff who self-identify as African American, Latina, Latino, or Chicana, Chicano, Asian American, Pacific Islander, American Indian, members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning community. And women in underrepresented fields. Hello? What about the male Caucasian? We're not a part of any of those groups the Office of Equality and Diversity is trying to support. Isn't diversity supposed to include everyone? Well, that's ironic. Listen to what another huge supporter of forced diversity program, William E. Kerwin, has to say. I still believe that continuing effects of racism are the most important reasons for continuing affirmative action programs on college campuses and in society. Wait. Let me get this straight. In order to solve the problem of discrimination, we must discriminate? Any practice that doesn't promote the equality of all the people is discriminatory, and has no business being in any of our laws or government programs. Diversity programs have only created animosity between races. This goes beyond our school programs and even into our jobs. Giving a person a job or admittance into a school based on race and playing favorites that way is condescending to the recipient and is unfair to the person that they pass up. It's a lose-lose policy. Merit should be the only determining factor and is the great equalizer. How many times have you seen a company advertise that they are an equal opportunity employer? Well, congratulations, you're following the law. In essence, it means the same thing as a company who advertises that they don't kill their employees. In order for a school to actually be equal opportunity, they have to take race totally out of the equation. One of the links provided in the defense of the University of Utah's diversity classes says, opponents of such attempts to diversify the student body, however, argued that more deserving white students are being denied educational opportunities. Guess what? If the student has better grades or the employee is more qualified, they are more deserving. Novel idea, I know.
Write that down.
If a school or company is lacking in their Asian or Hispanic quota, they will discriminate against the white guy, even if the white guy is more qualified, based on his race, and hire the minority. Of course, the street goes both ways. If the Asian or Hispanic applicant is more deserving and more qualified than the white guy, then they should be able to get the job. In my opinion, this practice is partially due to fear. Fears of the witch hunts for those who aren't politically correct. Fear that the company or school will be looked at as racist, which will lower business or attendance. I've talked to a couple teachers who I know personally who teach diversity classes. Not necessarily because they agree with the goal of the classes, but because they know that it ensures security in their jobs. They know they'll have that class next semester, and it raises attendance in an otherwise unpopular class. Personally, I would have to say that this is a much better reason to participate in these forced diversity classes than the patronizing, self-righteous reasons the others claim. Another interesting topic that I stumbled on over and over is that diversity classes, more than anything, are trying to change the white students. Believe it. They don't even try to hide it. On the University of Utah's website, under the Diversity Digest link, we have this little statement. In one of the studies that specifically tested these new measures, the results show that the racial diversity has a direct positive impact on the individual white student. The more diverse the student body, the greater the likelihood that the white student will socialize with someone of a different racial group or discuss racial issues. Come to find out, this study was conducted by our buddy, the previously mentioned Octavio Villalpando. This is just one example, but there seems to be a common theme here. I've come to find out the actual goal of these diversity classes is to change the white student. In its extreme, this is reverse racism. Are we really that bad that we need to be singled out and changed? Of course it'd be ridiculous to dismiss what has happened in the past, but people like to pretend that white people are the only people who have dark pasts relating to minorities. Let's take slavery, for example. Quite a large number of slaves were actually slaves before they even came to America. Americans at the time were just new customers. In no way do I wish to excuse what has happened in the past. But the simple fact of the matter is, every culture has had its issues with slavery and discrimination. Just ask the people in Sudan or Niger where slavery still exists. Do government-run schools single out the white students because when you think of white, you think of conservative? Heaven forbid there be opposing views in a school. Why is this so overlooked? Could it be because their claim that they want everyone to be open-minded like them?
Why aren't more people encouraging, like me?
Would be less than sincere, and the real goal is to cleanse conservative values from the schools? In his essay, The Elusive Goal of Intellectual Diversity, Orson Scott Card said, "If there were a requirement that all administrators and faculty members at our university show their commitment to the divinity of Jesus or their belief that the distinct life of every organism begins at the moment of conception, a scientifically obvious fact, no one would have any doubt that such a test would constitute an establishment of religion." So would this insistence on a requirement of diversity be a part of the Church of Liberalism? Compare this attitude with the recent expulsion of Julia Ward, solely over her belief that homosexuality is wrong. What's wrong with having that opinion? Oh, I forgot, it's not politically correct. No opinion is wrong unless it goes against a liberal's opinion. So much for diversity. Oh, that's something else I forgot. That's not the real goal of diversity. The goal only goes one way as far as diversity is concerned, and if you have conservative values, you're out of luck. If you want another example, look up Jennifer Keaton on the CNN website. There is a ray of hope, however. Senator Jim Webb is calling for an end to government-run diversity programs. He said, "They've only disadvantaged poor whites and hurt the cause of racial harmony." But how are some people supposed to get jobs or promoted without special treatment or quotas to fill? No, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are going to be rioting in the streets. E pluribus unum. How many of us knew that that was our nation's motto? Okay, probably most of us, but I didn't. It means out of many, one. On the outside, diversity classes seem to support this idea, but in reality, I hope I've shown why it doesn't. Diversity classes actually do the opposite. In effect, the point is to make one, the white people, many, the minority, and turn people into something they're not.
Amazing!
The Valmorification completely worked.
Sit up and take a look, Gary.
It's uncanny.
You're going to fool everyone, Gary. Or should I say, Ahmed?